welcome. Today we're going to be sharpening my Manix 2 in M4 on my KME knife sharpening system. Now, this is not the greatest lighting or camera angle. In fact, this might even be a good idea. So the first thing I need to do is clean this blade off. I'm going to be using the included KME rag because I haven't used it yet. But I need to go get some rubbing alcohol, so I will be right back. Alright, so I've got some rubbing alcohol in here. I'm just gonna spray a little bit on there. Just get this gunk off. I was out mowing the lawn today, and there were some weeds that were giving me trouble, and there were some tree branches that I needed to hack off, and this was the knife that was with me at that time. One second, this is giving me some troubles getting this stuff off. Well, I'm not sure they're what you would call milkweeds, but I don't know. They had this weird, creamy, milky substance. And apparently, it doesn't like coming off, because it is giving me a lot of troubles. So just give me a minute here. But this edge was sharpened on the wicked edge in the past. If you can see that little piece right there where it couldn't get all the way up, I've ground something little in there, but don't worry about that. It's the fact that there's a little unsharpened part right there that's not quite as polished as the rest of the blade either. I'll show you how sharp it is, because quite frankly, I don't know. Okay, it's it's catching on my Band-Aid. Still catching on my Band-Aid. It's okay, it's tearing a little bit, but just to prove it, I'll dull it. My very favorite way of dulling is using this. This is an Anself stone from Amazon. This is a 10,000 grit, and I want to show you. People way overdull their knives a lot. That. Little bit of pressure, one pass. I mean, I'm really good at cutting paper. And just to prove it, this knife has a KME edge on it, just 1500 grit and hand stropped. And I can do like that. So, sharp knife, dull knife. We're going to make it into a sharp knife. So we're going to clamp it in here. I'm just going to loosen it up. So, I don't care about what you guys do at this point. This is my technique works really great for me. So I don't care how you do it. That's fine. However you do it, if it works for you, I don't care. But yeah, I'm gonna do what I'm doing. I have to clamp it off screen here. Sorry. Okay, so I'm tightening the wing nut. this isn't going to be a tutorial. I'm going to do a how to sharpen with the KME later. So now we are, for some reason the detents are really strong on this. I'm not sure why. So you can see I have all of the diamond stones over here, the 9 and 6 micron lapping film and the 4 micron strop with the emulsion. Funnily enough, I have my KME sharpeners thing there, and I have my KME sharp card right here. But I think I will be putting more emulsion on the strop because I've used it a couple times. I apply probably more than I need to, but for this one I'm going to start on the 100 grit because I need to get the imperfection at the back of the blade off and whatever else the wicked edge made the knife conform to. Two different sharpening systems, probably going to work differently. I'll be doing a KME and wicked edge comparison video sometime in the future. So I'm actually going to try using, where did I put it? 1 second. So I would actually, I've changed my mind. I would try this, but people say that using it scratches your blades. I'm going to try it on some blades I don't care about quite as much. So, yeah. Let's start sharpening this blade. First thing we should do is mark it. Sorry if you can see my giant head. Okay. Ooh, this is obviously super steep. I'm gonna lower this. Sometimes I feel like I tighten that more than I need to. So, or let's just put it around 19. And I will be checking with the angle cube because I want this edge to be 19 degrees exactly. So that seems to be removing it pretty good. But this is how I do it. I have these rubber bands that come with rainbow loom. When I was littler, when I was a smaller child, because I'm still really a child, I would make those rubber band bracelets. But now I just use them for this. Set it on there like that. I have my angle cube here. I set it right next to the handle. Turn it on. Press 0. Press 0. And then I'll just put it here. That says 16.4. M4 can take a good angle, but that's a little abrupt for my shallow for my taste. I know a lot of people make their Spydercos like 15 degrees because they really like slicers. In my experience, this edge is still decent, but I think I want it closer to 17. I don't know why this is still showing to be in the 16 range. Still showing to be closer to 16 than 17, so. And we're almost at 20 on the angle gauge here. This just goes to show how much you shouldn't quite trust the angle gauge. It typically doesn't matter. That's as close to 17 as I need to get for now. That's about 17, and I might have to grind a little bit to get the bevel back a little bit, but that's fine. M4 can take a shallow edge. It's a very good steel in that regard. So the imperfection from the wicked edge is gone in that amount of time. Now the one thing going from the KME to the wicked edge is the tips. I have to grind them a little bit. Shit. Sometimes I'll roll just a tad, so I have to re-mark the bevel. But we're just gonna keep going. It's hard for with this camera height. Okay, so we're pretty good. Obviously we have a burr. So, but this side, what the fuck? So, a thing about the KME that I really like is these stones are excellent. I mean, the 100 grit is just about, I mean, is the 50 grit nice to have? Absolutely, it works like a charm. But sometimes, I mean, dare I say, sometimes it's a little too much. 100 grit is, I mean, when I first got my first KME, this is the second KME I've had, because I had a KME, I upgraded that to get all the lapping films, and I had bastard strops, and I had a bunch of different things. I bought the 50 with the basic kit, and that was it. So I went from 50 to 140, and that it just doesn't work. Not only the scratches from the 50, it's not as much the scratches, but the 50 actually leaves microchips in the edge. It's not really microchips. It's still sharp, but I don't know any other way to do that, to say that. But here, I put it this way. Everybody at least specifically Dino, he describes the scratch pattern and the edge scratch pattern as peaks and valleys. Got a burr on there. He describes it as peaks and valleys. The peaks and valleys off of the 50 grit are so pronounced that you can get the scratches out when it comes to the surface finish of the bevel. You can get the scratches out going from 50 to 140, but the peaks and valleys are really hard to get out, and the 100 grit you need to bridge that gap with the 100 grit. And the 100 grit is coarse enough that it's better to get the 100 grit instead of the 50 grit. But of course, I have both, which is pretty overkill actually. 50 grit is pretty, I mean, it's crazy. So now we're going to do deburring strokes. I do 3 per side and then 1 and 1 until I get to the 1500 grit stone, or whatever my final stone is going to be. No, I do not consider these to be stones. I do these differently in the strops, but they all basically end in 3 on one side, 3 on the other, and then 1 on one side and 1 on the other. That's really what the procedure is. So done with the 100 grit stone. Gonna put that aside. Go with the 140. Guys, if you are thinking about getting a KME, you're going, oh, I don't know, maybe you should get a Wicked Edge instead, or a Hapstone, or a TS Prof, or a Edge Pro, or whatever. I've only got experience with freehanding, which I'm not the greatest at. I can get a pretty damn good edge on it, though. I have experience with freehand. I have experience with the KME. This is what I have absolutely the most experience with, and I have I have enough experience to be knowledgeable on all three of them. But I'm also pretty good with the Wicked Edge, and this is coming from a guy who has had both the Wicked Edge and the KME. In my personal opinion, the KME is the best. If you are hesitating to get a KME, I insist. I mean, if you're thinking about getting a KME, you want a KME, I insist that you get it. This isn't a plug. This isn't a promotion for KME or anything. I'm just so impressed with what they do, and they make such a high quality product and such an effective product that I think it's a no-brainer, excellent choice for and yes, I do tilt this to look at it myself. I need to be able to see what's going on. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. With the KME, you can go up and down, which I don't particularly like. You can go, single strokes upwards or downwards. I think that's how Nick Shabazz does it. I don't know why, but that when he's demonstrating sharpening on the KME or the Edge Pro or the Viper Sharp, which are the three things he's reviewed, he's always doing something like this, which is just so slow. But easily my preferred method is the partial sweeping stroke, which is where you're never going up and down directly, except for maybe right at the heel. But that's how I do it. And another thing is EDC with Aaron. He sharpens like this, all the way up and down. And that seems like a perfectly effective way to sharpen. It really comes down to personal preference, really. When it comes to something like this, yes, the way the scratches are going does matter, but it really, it doesn't matter enough that you should sacrifice comfort while sharpening to make sure those are going the same way. And it really only matters when you get down to your last stone, and it takes a couple strokes to even everything out and make all the scratches go the same way. Okay, now we're going to deburr again. And I'm talking and I'm looking at things, and right now we're at 18 minutes. Normally, probably wouldn't take this long. And of course, I had to kind of profile this knife. And it is very sharp at this stone. I'm actually going to clean the blade off of Sharpie. Okay. But we're basically burless enough. And this knife, the way to test sharpness on the KME, make it so basically the knife is vertical, so you have the most convenient control. Hold on to this And this is very easy to test sharpness. It was sharp at the 100 grit. It was just so toothy. I mean, no one's going to stop at the 100 grit, really, are they? Probably not. If you're stopping for basically the toothiest edge you can get, I think the edge cleans up the most at our next stone, the 300 grit. The 300 grit is probably my favorite stone from KME. For general, oh, my knife is dull, I just need to match the angle and work it a little bit. There's no chips, there's no serious edge degradation, you know, and I don't need to redo the bevel or anything. I just need to find the bevel and get it sharp again. 300 grit's probably as coarse as you need to go. I'd still go to the 140, just because it makes it, you know, faster or simpler, I guess. And normally, I could strop or, you know, use ceramic rods or something. I could touch it up enough, but the only reason I'd have to put it back on the KME is if I either need to redo a bevel, or there is a chip, or there, you know. Of course, the edge refinement that you get from the KME is wonderful. It's awesome to be able to take something from basically completely changing a knife, to, you know, over here where you get the just beautiful, stunning, mirror polished edges that can whittle hairs all day long. I mean, something I'm actually pretty happy with is I sharpened this with the 1500 and then this stone, which I had to, you know, find the angle because I don't have the thickness compensator. But, and then I made this strop. I sanded this down, I forget what grit, but I put the 3.5 micron and 1 micron paste on here from the Wicked Edge, that the Wicked Edge sells. And I mean, this knife has a great polish. Not, you know, a flawless mirror, but it bites so hard and it whittles hairs just about. I mean, I'm pretty sure that knife right there is, I mean, my stretch. It has the shallowest angle out of any knife I have, I think. And it has the very, very, very sharpest edge out of any knife I've ever had, I think. I think it's the sharpest edge I've ever handled. So we're still going with the 300 grit stone here. I used to be really bad with the tips on the KME and for the Wicked Edge, for that matter. I'm being much more diligent to make sure I'm getting the tips perfect. And sometimes I think they were just barely just swooping off there, just slightly. I mean, just that tiny little bit. I don't like that. I mean, they were still sharp and pointy tips to the max. But you know, deburring. I'm doing a full sharpening video here, guys. Oh shit. This is going to be uncut. And this is where the edge cleans up. And this right here, I mean, strop this. I have some homemade strops. some white and green, just Stropman compound strops. I sanded these down. This is pieces of a clipboard, you know, white and green. But, I mean, strop this with maybe the green or probably the white compound. Just give it a couple quick passes. Don't polish out all the tooth. But, I mean, you're going to have a way, way aggressive edge. It's going to be beauty-miss. Beauty-miss. 600 grit is where we are going next. Sorry if I'm doing some of this off camera. I'm not really paying attention to the camera a ton, because it's in a pretty good spot. So, here we go. Here, I'll show you the 300 grit finish before I touch the other side. 300 grit looks excellent. And I really do try and use as much of the stone as possible. So this is the 600 grit finish. Here, let me get it closer if I can. That is the 600 grit finish. And this is the 300 grit finish. 300 grit finish looks, I mean, I would guess 300 grit finish and then stropped is the best toothy edge, and the best, you know, bitey between toothy and polished is probably 1500 grit without strop or 600 grit with strop. 600 grit with strop is probably the closest you're going to get to the factory edge, I guess you could say. This is the set. Okay, yeah. And these diamond stones, I mean, with my experience right now, they're just about broken in. This is a beautiful finish right here. Absolutely beautiful. And I can typically get an edge. I'm just gonna check. Typically, most of the time, it's never easy. Yep, I did it. It's never too easy, but you can typically, you can see that, it's a whittled hair. I can typically get an edge to whittle a hair at a 600 grit. I think I've gotten one knife in the past to whittle at 300 grit, and that was without stropping. This is uncut. You saw all of that. So, but now we're going to go to 15. And it's not magic that this happens. I had a different KME, it was a different set of stones, and it was a different system. They're consistent enough between systems, like one system is similar enough to another system, that, I mean, the edge, I mean, it's just, I love the KME so much. And this is the finest diamond stone, at least KME Gold Series diamond stone. And if you're on Facebook groups or you watch Birdshot IV specifically, you hear people say, start with the basic kit with the KME and then go up from there. Start with the basic kit, get the hang of it, and then you can move on. That's true. The basic kit for the KME, in my opinion, I think it was engineered to give you good results with still not ultimate refinement. 1500 grit is basically the perfect edge of... It would be cool if this got better, but I don't need it better. That's basically what the 1500 grit is. And, in my opinion, adding the 4-micron strop, this is as sharp as anybody needs a knife. As anybody needs a knife. And sorry I'm not talking a whole lot. I don't have a whole lot to talk about. And I do put more time in with the 1500 grit stone than most of the other ones. Okay, so now I do 7, 5, 3, and 1. Or 5, 3, and 1. Sometimes I'll do 7. Kind of depends how I'm feeling. Sometimes I'll do 10, 7, 5, 3, 1. It really does. 5, 3, 1 is my typical. Of course, per side. And most of the reason I go all the way back up to 5 is to get the scratches going the same way. And I'm not putting any pressure on this. This is 0 pressure. So I have 3 terms. Pressure, 0 pressure, and negative pressure. Pressure is when you're actually using your muscle to push down. 0 pressure is putting no effort in, just gliding. And negative pressure is putting effort away. Still touching, but so lightly that you need to take pressure away. And that's actually kind of a difficult thing to do. I don't know what we're on right now, so I'm just going to assume we're on 1. So I'm so sorry if I fucked that up. Oh, sorry for the swears. Typically, people don't like the swears. And I do multiple ones. And I think with the ones, I'm doing negative pressure. Yeah. 0 pressure works fine too. Okay, so the 1500 grit leaves a beautiful, beautiful edge. Very consistent. Absolutely beautiful. I guarantee you the knife in my hand will whittle a hair, but I'm not even going to do it. You already saw that I could whittle a hair at 600. If I put more effort in with the 1500, there's no reason that would whittle a hair if the 600 will. So now we're going to go to the straps. Or not the straps, the lapping films. So I'm going to wipe this off. Let's take out the lapping film. Glass block. It's just a micro-abrasive, diamond micro-abrasive on a piece of tape. The tape adheres to this glass platen. So I'm just going to put that in the stone holder, just like all of the other ones. And the strops films, you know, on the glass blanks are all the same. Now, I normally try using Dawn and water on everything. I prefer that over oil, but with these, just put a little tiny bit of oil, get a very thin layer, because I've found myself in the past overkilling it by a long shot. So now, this is what, I mean, the 9 and 6 really do the polishing between. The thing that adds the most sharpness is this. The thing that does the surface finish polishing are the lapping films. So here we go. You're applying very light pressure with these. And that sound you hear is just the side of this scraping up against the choil. Doesn't really do much. And you technically can go up and down with these, but it's not particularly going to happen, but you have a high risk of cutting your lapping film. Obviously, if you really press down, it's probably more likely to happen. If you don't use any pressure, absolutely no pressure, I mean, the likeliness is relatively low, actually. But I'd still suggest just going down. Actually, the funny thing is, I have a tripod. I have a tripod set up, it's the Archon tripod. If you know what I'm talking about. It's the blue, budget-friendly Archon tripod, and I have a Neewer mic arm with the blue snowball on it. That's what I use to record my gaming videos. And I actually just have the legs wrapped around that, and that's how I've got the camera set up right now. I'm actually recording on my phone. The quality isn't the best, I know, and the lighting isn't the best, and the angle isn't the best. But it's what I've got. I do plan to make more videos on my knife channel. My knife channel is just Wyatt Broom, and my gaming channel is Torling. The gaming channel is really, when it comes down to it, what I've been focusing on lately. But my passion for knives and my passion, I guess you could say, my drive, my fascination with gaming and editing and stuff kind of spiked. So that's why I started uploading, and my satisfaction with what I was putting on that channel spiked. And it still is. I'm still pretty satisfied with the videos I have on my Torling channel, which is my gaming channel. I'm very happy with what I've been putting on there lately. The Terraria series and the Stardew Valley video. I love the Stardew Valley video. Actually, there's a slight burr on there, just very slight. But, my friend Ethan made the video called Pass the Anime, and that was an edited version of a video that I made a long time back, unedited. It was called Buddy Boy McBroman Plays Fistful of Frags. Oh shit, I didn't deburr, which I'm super anal about, so I'm gonna do that. But he edited that, and he used something called Shotcut, and that's actually what he used to edit his National History Day project. Giant history thing. You could probably look it up. It's very easy to pick up on. But sorry. And I thought I tried it. I just tried using Shotcut, and that's where I think it was Funny moments from old unused League Challenge videos is what the video is called. And that was the first video I edited together. And then there's the next video on my channel after that. It was a Terraria video where I edited an old Terraria bit. I think it was called Racial Slurs and Dylan Being Gay. I think that was what the video is called. And we're moving on to the 6 micron lapping film now. Same as the 9 micron, just finer. Same concept. Same use. And, just a little tiny bit of oil. Even that was a little too much. Just wiped it on my pants. I'm so dumb. But, my fascination spiked, and I'm much happier with the videos I've been putting out. Just because they're edited, they're in my, to me, engaging the whole way through, you know, my friend Dylan and Ethan, and just my friends, at least, they find them funnier. They're much more enjoyable to them. I think they're enjoyable. I'm just going to keep uploading, because right now it's kind of just a hobby. I'm not particularly trying to get more subscribers. That's, like, not my goal, but I guess it is. If I ever hit triple-digit subscribers, I'd be ecstatic. On either channel, on my knife channel, Wyatt Broom, or my gaming channel, Torling. But, yeah, it's just, but I've been gonna upload to this channel more because now my fascination with the knife world and sharpening, both gaming and sharpening and knife world, they've all been kind of big parts of my life, but, you know, the gaming one spiked and video making spiked and all that, and now the knife world and sharpening are spiking again. That was too much oil. So, expect more videos on this channel. Yeah. I know I'm ranting a lot in this video, but I think that I think it's it's better than not talking at all. And if it isn't better, mute me, mother friggers. Trying not to swear. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to deburr with the 6 micron lapping film. Okay. So now we got that nice polish going, very open, and honestly, those CBN polishes, I mean, this edge is, you know, I guess it's polished. I guess it's kind of got better than a not polished, I guess. The 4 micron, this is a polished, the 4 micron CBN kangaroo strop is going to bring it from. Yes, this is polished, too. Mirror polish, yes, very good, you know. And actually, I'm deciding against reloading it. because my hands are all dirty, and I'm super anal about that when it comes to my strops. So there we go. Just make sure the blade is nice and clean. Don't use a whole lot of pressure with this, at least that's my preference. And this polish is already coming through beautifully. This strop puts on such a nice polish and such a nice edge. This grip progression I've done right here is, in my opinion, the most underrated grip progression when it comes to the KME, or guided sharpening in general, I think. This progression is the cheapest way, I mean, the efficiency and the I guess efficiency, cost-wise and progression-wise, time-wise, everything, basically. This is the best edge you'll get. It's a very impressive mirror polish. You've got the KME, so you have perfect consistency, and you have not only the perfect mirror polish, but you have a absolutely ludicrous sharp knife, and I guarantee I'll show you how easily it will whittle a hair and stuff. I have one other knife that I did this grip progression to, and it's VG10, so that one looks even better, because VG10 polishes like nobody's business. Now that I've said that out loud, what the hell does blank like nobody's business? What do you mean by that? Why nobody's business? Why is it nobody's business? It seems like my business. You're telling it to me, so it's my business, isn't it? There are a lot of those sayings that I just don't get. Same with, so Mom will say something and I'll go, so? And she'll go, so buttons on your underwear. Who the hell has buttons on their underwear? Who the hell has buttons on their underwear? I have not seen a one pair of underwear that has buttons on it. Not a one. All of them just have, you know, their underwear, like the dick hole, where you pee through, you know? Which nobody ever uses anyways. Does anybody use the dick hole in the underwear to pee with? Does anybody use that? Am I the weird one? Am I weird for not using it? Am I the weird one? Oh shit, I might be the weird one. Leave your underwear dick hole comments in the comment section. Well, let's start the underwear dick hole discussion. That would be an intriguing discussion, the underwear dick hole discussion. We're good. Shit. We're good. I thought I rolled off and dulled the edge, but no, we're good. Oh, the edge is so nice, dude. So now we're going to do the 3-in-1. No pressure on this. Or just barely putting pressure on it. Now, I think I'm going to go no pressure with this. And we're done. The knife is done. So, man, I really cluttered up my desk here. So let's get this out of the clamp. I'm standing up now, so just because, I don't know, I guess I am. So I'm actually going to turn the torch off because it showcases how great the mirror edge is a little better. I mean, look at that. Yes, it's got the scratches if you get it in the right light. It's got some of those deep scratches still left in there, but I mean, look at that. You don't need a better mirror edge than that. And it will whittle hairs like nuts, dude. Watch. Watch. Did you see that? I hope you did. It's hard doing this behind the camera. Okay. Did you see that? It's stupid, dude. That is so... I want to get that... Oh, shit. See that? I'm gonna get one more hair. Yeah, I use those pliers to pluck my hairs because my fingies ain't strong enough. My fingies aren't strong enough, but I like getting those impressive curls, but I've still not mastered that. Can't get the curls, but I mean, if I just do it this way, boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's just, if that doesn't prove, I don't know what does. Maybe this will. Now, if you guys are Cliff Stamp lovers, I'm not really a lover. I actually kind of don't like them. But what